everyone. Today I'm going to make calzones with a little salad. So I've got these 2 sausage links, and these are mild Italian. Okay, I saved them from our spaghetti the other day. So I'm going to take the casings off those, cut them in pieces, saute them in the pan, and I'm making a very small batch of homemade tomato sauce. That is parsley, garlic, onion, olive oil, and I'm getting ready to add 1 can of crushed tomatoes. I don't want a lot of sauce today, so I'm just going to make this small batch. And when I get all of that, the sausage cut up and in the pan, I'll come back to you in a moment. Thought I would show you briefly, if you do want to take the casing off your sausage, what I do is I just cut a slit down the center like that, and then you can easily just pull it right off. That's the easiest way to do that. Okay, so our meat is cooked, and this is my basic pizza dough, same pizza dough recipe that there's already a video for, so I didn't put that on film. It has risen. I'm about to punch it down and roll it out into 3 calzones. Or you could just leave it as pizza. But I'm doing something different today because it makes us feel like we had something different. We eat pizza all the time, but I hardly ever make the calzones. I've got my oven preheating to 450. My sauce is simmering. My sausages are cooked. But now what I'm doing is I had a few turkey pepperonis left. And one reason I wanted to do calzones today is because I was working with minimal meat. And because of that, I wanted it to feel like more than it really was. So, all right. So I'm going to crisp up some turkey pepperonis in the pan. I got them cut up into small pieces, so a little goes a long way. And I love them when they're crispy like that. So, all right. I thought about just making 2 on this because my daughter and I are going to share the pepperoni one, and my husband will have the sausage one, but I think I'm just going to make 3. So we want to cut this into thirds. I'm not good at thirds. I wish it was 4s. Wonder if I could just make 4 and then someone would have an extra one. I think I'll do that. So I'm not good at cutting that into thirds. Alright. My daughter will be fine if there's just one that's all cheese for her lunch tomorrow. She'll be just as happy. I'm also going to throw us a little salad in today too, so that'll be plenty. So we're just going to roll this out into a circle, just like you would a pizza. And you can make them smaller and essentially make your own like Hot Pockets too, this same way. Just cut it into like, I don't know, maybe 8 or so. Whatever portion you want. If you want a giant Hot Pocket, then that's your prerogative, and have yourself a giant Hot Pocket. That's probably what I would do. I did make less of my pizza dough recipe today just because I usually make 2 really big pizzas, and I'm not looking for a lot of leftovers today. So I didn't really half my pizza recipe, but what I did was I don't know, I can't explain it. I lessened it. How about that? Alright, so I think that's good. You want it to be thin enough to where it cooks, but not so thin that it's just going to fall apart on you. Alright. You don't want a lot of flour on the outside either, or the inside, because it won't pinch together right. Make sure I got the camera right. Alright. So I'm going to pause it here and roll out the rest just because I'm letting my sauce simmer a bit more. So I'll be back in a moment. Alright, I'm back. So I got my 4 rounds. My sauce is simmered. So I'm going to just put some in the middle like that of each one. Just going to do 2 at a time here. Sauce is a little more liquidy than I would like, but it's okay. Pepperoni ones first. So here's the pepperonis that I cut up small and crisped up, which I think are delish. love them crispy. I grated some of my own mozzarella cheese here just to have some that was not pre-shredded. Even though this has mozzarella in it, sometimes the pre-shredded, you know, can be a little bit waxy and just not as creamy when it melts. So I thought just having some of that would be good. And I do have Parmesan as well, but I think I'm going to save that for our salad. Or sprinkle some on top. I can't get these open with my gloves on. There we go. Now you could also spread it out and just leave them as, you know, miniature pizzas, personal pan pizzas. My daughter and I like more cheese, so I'm going to load them up, more so than the sausage ones. Make sure I save plenty of this one for the other two. So I don't have quite as much of it, but he don't like a lot, so it's okay. Alright, so there, that's it on that. Now what you do is you're just going to fold it over. Make sure you can see it. Closer. You're going to fold it over and crimp the edges, which is why you don't want to get sauce on the edge because it won't stick. Same reason you don't want flour there either. It just won't stick. Now what I find it easier to do, instead of folding all of this over, I pick it up like that and start pinching it together so that my toppings cannot. And then you can lay it down. That way the toppings can't roll over and get the sides like you know, and mess you up. So now I don't have to worry about any sauce on my edge because I picked it up and put it together. Now I need to get these out of my way, at least one. So I need a place to put this. You can pick it up to move it, but I suggest you do it fairly quickly. In fact, that got a hole in it, but it'll be all right. I'll make that one mine. All right, so do this one more time. Pull it up and start crimping. I do suggest probably just using a big spatula to pick it up. Maybe would probably be a little easier, especially these corners. I just got some sauce on that corner. That's the hardest part to keep the sauce out of because it wants to start oozing out the corners. So you want to hold those up and make those closed first. And this is probably why I mostly do pizza most of the time, is because of this very reason. So I think I'll take my own advice and actually pick this up with a spatula just to make sure that it doesn't bust open as well. You could probably even just assemble it on your pan, possibly. I don't need to put it seam side down. Usually I think they've usually put them like with the seam halfway over, pushed over like that, but that's okay. All right, so I'm gonna get these other two done. They're gonna be filled with sausage, but other than that, same technique, and then I'll be back. Just to show you that crap happens to everybody. This is what happens if you overfill them. And I was trying to use up all the sausage and the rest of the stuff for this one, so it has busted open on me. So I mean, it has really busted open too, so like I don't even know how to repair that. But I can assure you that my husband really won't care. I'm going to try to take some of this. I don't even know what I'm going to try to do, but this way you can just see what happens. You know, just because somebody can do something in a video doesn't mean that they don't have things that arise also. See, this dough is really just turned into mush on me. I don't think this is going to work out very well. Oh, now it's coming apart over here. So it's a real mess. It's wet, it's sloppy. Yeah. In fact, I think what I'm going to do is stick this on a sheet pan and just let it cook alone. And we'll see what happens, how it turns out, because it's just a big ball of mess. All right, so this is the mess I have. We're gonna bake this almost like an open-faced pizza. That's what I'm gonna call it, open-faced pizza pie, because it's definitely pie. I wonder if we could cover it up with a little cheese. Put a little more cheese on there. Make it look intentional. Even though he's gonna watch this video and laugh at me later, that's fine. So now what you wanna do, not with this of course, because we can't, is take a sharp knife and vent these. I had put that one sideways because it was supposed to, you know, I was going to put the other one beside it. And I would move it, but I don't think I'm touching it at this point. So we want to vent them. because if you don't, it could blow up, sort of, not blow up, but it could kind of explode on itself from the heat inside and turn into a mess. But I don't know if I could get a bigger mess than what I'm already into now. All right, they're going in the oven now. I told a story. The tops will be brushed with oil, olive oil, and then sprinkled with some more cheese. But of course I won't be able to do it with that. I was going to just pour it on, but you know, it might be best if I don't. I just got that feeling today. So today is a random Tuesday, and even though I did work today, I only had to work a half a day. So if you pre-plan, if you have your dough maybe made or something like that, because really this dough only has to rise 30 minutes for pizza. It could be done on a weekday. You may not want to tackle it on a weekday, but it could be done. Especially if you don't have to cook your ingredients on the inside. Pepperonis necessarily don't have to be cooked. I just like them that way. And since I had the pan out for the sausage, I decided to cook them. If your cheese is pre-shredded and your sauce is already made, or you use a jar sauce, you could make your dough the night before and keep it in the refrigerator and then take it out to let it rise. It might take a longer rise time. You might need about an hour and a half, but you could still take it out while you got your other stuff together. All right, now sprinkle a little bit of this. I think I'm going to use the cheese that's already pre-shredded just because I don't want it to melt off into oblivion of nothing. So I'm just going to sprinkle a little of that on top. I think I'm not going to put it on his though, because the last time I did it, the cheese on top does turn a little dark, kind of like what's on the Subway, Subway bread. The Italian urban cheese one has that dark cheese on top, and I don't think he likes that too much. So I'm gonna leave it off of his and just put it on those. That way it'll be easier to tell them apart anyway. Now they're going in the oven. So I had to stop my husband from eating it, but this is the mistake. The others aren't quite done yet, but he has eaten half of it. He added some dipping, and he hasn't even touched his salad, so he says it's delicious. So it's not really a mistake after all.